For years, people have visited the Lake District on the literary trail of the poets and authors who wrote so famously about their beauty. To Wordsworth, Coleridge and Ruskin, add Arthur Ransome, author of the children's classic Swallows and Amazons.
All four of them had been filled at once with the same idea. It was not just an island, it was the island waiting for them. It was their island.
Arthur Ransome, a journalist and rumoured spy, retired to the shores of Lake Coniston and wrote Swallows and Amazons in 1930. It was soon a bestseller and has rarely been out of print since. Claire Kendall Price has found the book a lifelong inspiration. She has now written a walking guide for fellow Ransome fans that identifies the places he wrote about.
I can't remember when I first started reading Ransome, but I just know it had a really profound effect on me, I suppose because living in the countryside, you're surrounded by it all the time. It's a really good viewpoint here because you can see so many Swallows and Amazons places. You see that lump on the lake over there? That was Peel Island, which was Wildcat Island, where they went camping. And then slightly further along, over there, you've got Holly Howe. So it gives you a really good idea of all Ransome places and the whole thing that the books are about.
Roger, aged 7, and no longer the youngest of the family, ran in wide zigzags to and fro across the steep field that sloped up from the lake to Holly Howe, the farm where they were staying for part of the summer holidays. He ran until he nearly reached the hedge on the other side of the field. Then he turned and crossed the field again.
The basic story in Swallows and Amazons is 4 children who are staying in this farm during the summer holidays. It's this wonderful adventure of them all sort of sailing around there and camping on the island and sort of trying to kidnap each other's boats and meeting the charcoal burners and just having a wonderful, relaxed time. Although it's quite exciting, it's not like the modern books where there's such a lot of violence and noise and things like that. It's just a really good romp. So we did the maps as quite sort of basic, easy things, so that children could do them on their own if they wanted. They could be expedition leaders and the parents could just sort of trail along behind carrying all the spare jumpers and sandwiches and things like that. The Swallows and Amazons books, or any of the books, is really a bit like being a detective. Most of the places in the book, virtually all of them, are real places. What he did was he picked them up and he jiggled them all around a bit to give the children a countryside of their own. But lots of children would write to him, having read the books, and ask where the various places were. And he would always write back and say, well, you know, I'm not going to tell you, you have to read the books and decide for yourself. Well, that's the landing place there. You can see the place straight across. So we're standing just here. Right, so we're looking straight across at the landing place. That's where the lighthouse tree used to be. And in a moment we'll walk along here and be able to look into the secret harbour. But you can't actually see in, because that's why it's a secret harbour. You can only see it as you're sailing straight in. But we can see a little bit more of it. But it's just like that in real life.
It's lovely because we had the perspective down at the other end of the lake when we were down at Holly Howe and we saw those hills down there. And we can now see them further from the other end of the lake, from this end of the lake, and we're also at Wildcat Island. I mean, it just fits it all in. It's just perfect. Let's see it. You know, it's wonderful.
There was really not very much of the island to explore. It did not take the crew of the Swallow very long to make sure that though someone had been on the island sometime, there was nobody but themselves on the island today. They went up to the northern end of the island and looked out over the lake from the highest part of the island by the big tree.
And here, I've got the photograph of the real children that the book's written for and for about. And here, you can see them climbing up on that rock over there in the sun. And here, their boat is sliding into the secret harbour.
So is that what they would look like in real life?
That's exactly what they look like in real life. They're about your ages as well, aren't they? By doing a walk like this, it's a good way to get children out into the countryside and to show them things and teach them about things without actually them realising necessarily that they're doing it, and to find that the outdoors can be a great deal of fun. It's not all about being cold and wet and having to do things, but it's exploring and it's adventuring and it's having a whale of a time, and it's just being with nature as it is. If a place makes an impression on you as a child, it will stay with you for the rest of your life.